All right, welcome everybody. Todd Warren here, owner and founder of Dental Sleep Profits. I am full of joy to have CEO of Bullseye Media on our webinar this week. Um, Ernie, welcome.
Thank you.
Really glad to have you. And he's going to be sharing something that perfectly aligns with what Dental Sleep Profits does, and that's helping you guys be more profitable with your dental sleep medicine practice. So, Ernie, I am going to let you take it away. And if you wouldn't mind, I think you have a very unique background in advertising and media. So if you wouldn't mind sharing how you got your start and how you made the transition into dental and dental sleep medicine, I think that would be maybe a great way to kick this off and then go into your presentation. Is that okay?
Yeah, it's great.
Perfect. Perfect. I'll let you take it away.
All right. Yeah. My friends laughed and said that during COVID, I did the trifecta. I got divorced, I bought a business, and I got a dog. So that was literally how I got into this sleep medicine stuff. I 15 years prior had run a digital agency for a group of investors, and it was the great joy of my life. I had so much fun building the agency, met so many good people, had such a good time. That business was sold. I moved on and did some other things, did some consulting for a private equity group. And I live in Dallas, and I was running a business out of Nashville, and I was flying there every Monday and back every Friday. And COVID, for a number of reasons, that business just was going to have to hit the pause button during COVID. It's a long story. And then obviously I couldn't fly there anymore. So I'm sitting around my living room and I'm like, well, my kiddos were coming back and forth between me and my ex-wife's house, but and I wasn't flying and working, and I had a lot of time on my hands. And I thought, Ernie, this is kind of a reset button. And I went over the, I don't know, 10 plus places that I've worked over my career and businesses I've been involved in, and said, what did I enjoy the most? I don't care if I went broke doing it. Just flat out, what did I enjoy the most? And I came to the conclusion it was running a digital agency, and I just loved the business. And so during COVID, I found Bullseye Media. The founder, Mark Fowler, was looking to retire. And so I bought it. And it's funny, I didn't know anything about dental sleep medicine getting into it. Didn't know a darn thing. I quickly learned, and here's just a little sidebar. As I'm learning about dental sleep medicine, one night, my daughter's in college now, but she was home at the time, and she was at the kitchen counter doing homework, and I'd fallen asleep on the couch. And she runs over and she shakes me. And I look up and I wake up and I look in her eyes, and there was fear in her eyes. I thought the house was on fire or the dog was dead or something horrible that happened to her sister. I didn't know. She was just so fearful, and she shook me. And I'm like, what? And she goes, Dad, I thought you were dying. And I go, what are you talking about? And she goes, you were gasping for air. I thought you were dying. I was about to call 911.
Holy cow.
And I was like, oh, okay. And I said, well, if that happens again, get a video of it, because I don't know what that was about. So a couple weeks later, it happens again. She gets a video. I send it to my doctor, my primary care physician, who's a college friend of mine. So I just text him rather than going in to see him. And he's like, dude, you've got sleep apnea. And I was like, what? Like, I run all the time. I'm thin, I'm fit. Like, I was like, you gotta be kidding me. So sure enough, I went in and I got he referred me to a sleep doctor, went in, they sent me home. I did the sleep test. I went back. They didn't call me for weeks at a time. I kept calling and calling and calling. I finally got in to see him. He said, there is a CPAP shortage, because that was right after that Philips recall. So it's going to be a while. I said, well, you know what? I'm in this business, and we deal with dental sleep medicine, and I would, I'd like to try, a device. And he said, your AHI is too high for that. Well, I had done enough homework to know that if you're, in the high 20s, 30s, I was like 23, and I was like, really? And he said, yeah. And I said, you won't refer me to somebody? And he said, no. And I was like, okay, interesting. So because of our relationship with DS3, I called Guy Yatros and I said, hey, look, can you, because I kind of felt funny going to one of our doctors here. I don't know. And I said, you know, could you recommend somebody? Don't have to be our client, not our client. I feel kind of weird calling somebody that, you know, because I don't want to feel. And I was going to be traveling the next a couple weeks later to Tampa, and he said, let me just fit you for a device. So he did, and started wearing it. And mine dropped to 3 the first night.
Wow.
So yeah, so I ended up buying a business where I didn't even know what dental sleep medicine was, to learning about it, to living through the whole process. And the whole, you know, you can order a sleep test, but you can't read it, and I got to send you here, and you got to go home with the device, and then or you know, do a home study, and then the sleep doctor said, no, you need to do an overnight in clinic study. Waited a couple weeks, oh, your insurance denied it. Okay, come in, let's talk about it again. I mean, I went through that whole thing, and that wasn't even, I got lucky in that I knew Guy Yatros and just got the device. I didn't have to go through. So it really opened my eyes to the power of dental sleep medicine, because I witnessed it myself. I actually 3 nights ago, Sunday night, fell asleep on the couch, woke up at 2 or 3 in the morning, stumbled upstairs, didn't put my device in. I could barely function on Monday. Wore it Monday night, Tuesday night, I'm good as gold. So I'm a believer in dental sleep medicine from a personal perspective, and I also know, you know, how difficult it can be for your average patient trying to get fixed.
Yeah, that's amazing. That's what I love about dental sleep medicine in the community that we have, is everybody has this very personal story that links them together with the industry that we're in. I just think it's so exciting. So I appreciate you sharing that.
Yeah.
Just getting into the kind of the value that you wanted to share tonight. I know I sent out some email blasts and created some videos about what you're going to be sharing. Do you want to kind of intro into what you're going to be sharing about tonight?
Yeah. So here's the conundrum that we learned very quickly on, is that we had a number of sleep doctors that were, and we've got some, like Dr. Richard Drake down in San Antonio. You know, he's got 2 practices in San Antonio, and they're doing 100 devices a month. I mean, they got it down, right? And we've got plenty of clients like that. But we also had an equal or probably more number who they're running their general practice, and they're also trying to start a sleep practice. And, you know, a doctor can be one place at a time. They're not, you know, magical superhuman. They can be in one room or the other. And so what they were finding was this challenge of keeping their general practice growing while getting their sleep practice off the ground. That's a common thing that we heard. So we started focusing on what are ways that we can help those doctors bring people down the funnel, if you will, and, you know, get the tire kickers out of their chairs, get people who are qualified in their chairs, so that if they were going to take precious moments away from treating somebody in their general practice, that in their sleep practice, it was somebody who had the best possible shot of ultimately buying a device. So that has led us down this journey, which I know is you know, your business as well. It is bringing lots of good leads to these dental sleep doctors, but also helping, you know, convert them into buying patients. So that led us to and if you don't mind, I'll kind of screen share and walk through, unless you wanted to do, I don't know if you want to set that up any further.
Yeah, you go ahead and share your screen. That'd be great.
All right, so let's screen share. Oops, where did it go? Hold on, this is in the way. So I just had this, oh, there it is. Okay, all right, you guys seeing this?
Yeah.
Okay. I was actually doing a webinar. I think it may have been a Dental Sleep Solutions webinar. Come to think of it, I'm not exactly sure who it was. And we were talking about moving people down the funnel in dentistry. And I made this comment, it kind of stuck with me, is I said, you know, it's kind of like in general dentistry, a push is what's needed, but in dental sleep medicine or elective stuff, it's a nudge, and I'll walk through what I mean by that. You know, I'm geez, why did that just do that? Sorry. This was an article that was shared with me recently that McKinsey did, and it's because there's a lot there, I decided to just, you know, put the lawyers. McKinsey did it. It was a survey of their customers, and the idea was, what impact did COVID have on the adoption of technology within companies? And so the real shocking thing here is that it moved them ahead 7 years in terms of the technology platforms that they had to accelerate because of what was happening in the market. And if you look at this chart here over on the far right, where you see North America, that is, you know, the average number of customer interactions that are digital. So if you go back to 2017, only 25%, 2018, 25%, 2019, 40%. And by that same period, because they did summer to summer, 65%. So what does that mean to dentists? Well, after all that couch surfing, more research is done before buying than ever before. More reviews done, more videos watched, more comparison shopping, because pre-COVID, people would go buy their groceries at the grocery store. The average, I mean, there are plenty of people who would have it delivered, but most people, and then they would go home and they might spend 3 hours online researching European vacation, researching a new car, looking at new houses, looking at some, you know, favorite outfit, something that required a lot of time. But, you know, post-COVID, people are spending 3 hours, you know, researching before they buy groceries, looking at videos and recipes and how do you make this a certain way. And it just changed the way that people buy. So what does that mean to your average dentist and dental sleep medicine doctor? If you think about a funnel, you know, every marketing person in the last, you know, 15 years has talked to their businesses about a funnel, you know, and the idea is that the more leads you can get at the top of the funnel, the better, but you've got to convert them down. You've got to get them down the next step of the funnel. So in your business and probably mine, we go to AADSM, we do advertising, we do webinars like this one. We do what we can to fill people in the funnel. And then they don't just say, Todd or Ernie, here's my credit card, I want to buy. They say, let's talk, let's understand, let me look at some information, let me shop around alternatives, let me look at the way that you work, let me learn more. And each time you have those conversations at the end of the funnel, they pop out and they're a client. Well, my observation has been in dentistry, they're really the funnel. If you do an ad for a family dentistry, you know, Google ad or Facebook ad or whatever it might be, you know, if the person on the other end of the line at the dental office says, you know, hey, do you need more information? Like, do you need to understand what it's like to come to a dentist office? And they're like, no, I've been to the dentist. Reminds me whenever I go to a restaurant and the waiter always comes up and says, hey, have you ever dined with us before? And I always have to bite my tongue and say, no, but I've eaten at a restaurant before. Like, unless you guys are going to make me eat standing on my head, I kind of know how this works, right? Like, so, and then, you know, so then the next thing is, you know, well, have you got any billing questions? And in the general dentistry world, it's like, no, I've got dental insurance. Like you know, no, I'm good. And then, you know, the answer is, were you ready to make an appointment? It's like, you know, all right, already. Yes, please. Like, you know, it's just straight down the funnel. In an ad for dental sleep medicine, it's a little bit different, right? Because people are learning. And so, you know, if you ask the question, do I need more information? The answer is, yeah, probably I've got several. It's not, it can be a straight to an appointment, but oftentimes it's not. So another, you know, are there other questions? You know, actually, yes, I would like to know, you know, how is this different than a CPAP? What about a sleep test? Will my insurance cover it? Will my jaw hurt? How long will it take to work? Like, there's just so much that questions that they're going to have that are different than somebody coming in for, you know, a crown. And then, you know, finally, as you get down the funnel and you've had a couple interactions, you're ready to appointment, it's like, yeah, I think so. I've got my questions answered. So how does that look in a dental marketing world? So this is my dog. That's my real dog. She's very precious. She's behind me right now. And those are my feet, which are not very pretty, but it is what it is. And so let's say that, you know, I'm on the couch and I am thinking about how I'm tired, or my partner tells me that I snore too much, or there's something that is making me go, do some research. So I've got TV in the background and I'm looking at surfing for stuff, sleep apnea treatments, and I scroll and I come up on the NIH. Well, to me, the NIH has got a lot of credibility. It's got a lot of just credibility, and Cleveland Clinic below it. So I'm like, oh, okay, interesting. This is, and then I see there's CPAP, device, surgical, dental. Okay, dental, let me go take a look at that. And I'm like, oh my gosh, like there are these devices that I can wear, and I keep surfing around the internet and I stumble across this, and this actually is a real, but let's say this is a Sunday night at 9 o'clock. What am I gonna do in this scenario? I mean, what are the options I'm given?
Call, that's it.
Call that number. So let's say hypothetically, even if it weren't called that, and if it were called that, but it was also a link that says, hey, you can get more information, make an appointment, whatever. It's 9 p.m. on Sunday. If somebody responds to me via email or a phone call, when are they going to do it?
Monday morning.
About what time?
Before noon.
Well, yeah, Monday morning sometime. And what am I going to be doing?
Trying to catch up.
Let's say they call me at 9 o'clock and I'm dropping the kids off at school. I'm about to get on a Zoom. I'm in traffic. I'm thinking about my day. I'm headed to the airport. I'm like any number of things that at 9 o'clock the night before seems like an eternity ago in today's world. Like I've already been up and I've checked my text and I've checked my voicemail and I've checked my email, my personal one and my work one, and I maybe have done some social media. I don't know. I am already so far back from that commercial. And so someone says to me, they call and catch me, and I'm either going to do one of two things. I'm either going to say, oh yeah, okay, yeah, that's right, I am, wife says I snore a lot, but now's not a good time, can I call you back? Are they going to call you back? Probably not. Is your front desk going to call them back? Maybe. So that's the second worst outcome there. The worst outcome is they say, yeah, sure, okay, yep, I can do Tuesday at 4 o'clock. Good chance that they're probably not going to come in, and if they come in, they don't have all that information. They haven't been nudged down. They don't know enough. So if you look at that same scenario in a nudge versus push world, on the couch with my precious dog, watching some TV, go to search sleep apnea treatment solutions. The NIH has credibility to me, so I poke around there. I learn about that there's this device, and I get, okay, I can do another option. I can do a virtual consult, and I can do it now. And I'm actually going to take you to exactly, this is just a little demo of this. And I go in and let's see, I have sleep apnea. That's what I'm calling about. And okay, I fill my information in. I write a little message. I am tired a lot and told that I snore a ton. Heard about a dental device, like to learn more. So I can shoot that in my message. I think I do have to confirm here. I can also go in and do this is actually not showing because it's a video, and a video, my video is already using itself to be on this, but it's literally as easy as this. You can see that at the record button, it's recording me. So what I would do here is I would say, hey, this is Ernie. I saw your ad about a sleep apnea solution. I think I might have it. I don't really know a lot about this. I'd love some more information about how it works. What does it cost? Things like that. So thank you very much. This is, it's really tricks it up when my video is already being used.
When you're on Zoom and trying to record a video.
When I'm on Zoom and that, so let's just, we'll fill this out and I'll just do the message. So I send and then I can also upload. This is more, the picture is really more for like aesthetic things, not necessarily for sleep medicine. And that's submitted. It's not going to let me, but if I didn't have the video on top of video, it would do that. And then a couple things would happen. And I will go back to my thing here. So then a couple things happen. I get a text and an email letting me know that my virtual consult's been sent off. And Dr. Warren can get a text, usually don't. Dr. Warren, when the next morning, when he or somebody from his staff goes and logs into this, they get a portal, and they may have had 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I don't know if Dental Sleep Profits is doing their ads, maybe 50 leads in this portal, and they literally go through and click. It's as easy as the same way that as the patient, I clicked a button on the doctor portal. They click a button, see what was put in there, and say, I'll be Dr. Warren. Hey, Ernie, thank you so much for sleeping out. Yes, there is an oral device. We've had clients that have had great results with it. Maybe answer some of their questions. Obviously, this is not a telemedicine visit, so you don't give them medical advice, but you give them information and say, if this is of interest to you, would love to have another conversation, would love to have you come into my front office. I'm going to attach a video. I'm going to attach a white paper. I'm going to attach, if it's cosmetics, and before and afters, and boom, you send it off. And the difference is that rather than waiting and getting a call, they have seen your face, they've had some interaction with you. And in the same way that you, Dr. Warren, have been able to answer that, to address that potential patient at your timing at 7 a.m. in the morning, maybe over lunch, maybe at 4:30 after clinic closes, you're not having somebody come in your office and do it at a precious 10 o'clock time when you've got a paying patient. So you're able to qualify, use your time well, and personally engage with them. The beauty for them is that they also want to get to engage when they want to engage, because there is a ton of research now about people are willing to call, but do not want to be called, right? Okay. People are much more willing to text, but even then it is at their leisure. Well, the beauty of this for the doctor is it also lets the doctor at his or her leisure bring that person down the funnel without having the one alternative is just drop straight down the funnel, push them into an appointment, and they don't show they're not ready, or they come in and ultimately end up not being a patient. So that is what I wanted to show you tonight. It's unfortunate that the video on the video thing didn't work, because I could show you how it looks on either end, but it is as simple as I just shared with you there. Yeah. So I'll stop talking.
Quick question, Ernie, on the doctor's response. I'm sure you know best, since you guys have done this with quite a few offices. Is it better to respond to those inquiries and record like a 60-second video, like speaking to the person? Or if they write a message, does the person just want a message back? What's your guys' experience been with doctors?
Well, usually it is, and I'm going to find real quick, excuse me just a second. I can actually show you all that back end just by going to a different one that I've done. So I'm going to go back real quick and I'll answer your question, but I'm just going to get ready to screen share. So you see my screen?
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So I'll go to that in a second, but to answer your question, it really is the comfort level of the sleep ambassador, coordinator, doctor, hygienist, whoever it is who's responding to these. Are they very, very comfortable on camera and come across well on camera, and are somebody that typically establishes a really good rapport with people, and if they've just got that, then absolutely they should do that. Yeah. If they don't want to do that, then here, this will answer some of the questions too. Let me actually go into the profile. Let's see. You can see what it looks like on the back end from the provider's perspective. So this is one I did last night. But here, partner says, I snore a lot, I'm tired all the time. On my end, I can go listen to, hey doctor, this is for me.
That's great.
Yep. So then they also, if they want to see photos, they can see photos. Oops, sorry, I didn't mean to do that. This This is difficult trying to do over Zoom, so apologies. So then on the provider side, the doctor can, hi, and hopefully they type better than I do, blah, 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 blah. So good to meet you. They could add, and this says add treatment. If the treatment's a wrong term here, in some cases it could be, but in this case, it's add information. It's add a video, it's add an article, it is add a link to their website. If, for cosmetics, you can do before and after. And then I know I'm going to have the same video, so I'm not going to do it here, but I could then click here. And just as easily as the video for the patient, this is now me, the provider, in the video. Hey, Todd, thank you so much for reaching out. So happy you did. Glad you saw our ad. I don't know what just happened there. But anyway, this is the dashboard. You get the idea. They finish the video, they give us some information, hit send, boom, it's done. And so this little list here, these are all obviously me, Ernest Cody, Ernie, but you just click down those one by one and can have an interaction with multiple different potential patients, nudging them down the funnel each time. And so it's, we found it to be highly effective at helping with that kind of, general dentistry. You push something elective, cash pay, DSM, kind of nudge, kind of give some little information. So, all right, I'll stop presenting and answer any other questions you had.
Yeah, no, that's great. And yeah, if anybody on the webinar has any questions, now would be the time. Ernie, have you found, as far as the doctors that are using this platform that you guys offer, in the dental sleep medicine community, is it very prevalent? I don't know of any of my clients that are currently using any platform like this, and I want to better understand if it's something that, well, I think it can help, but I want to hear like your customers' experience who are doing dental sleep medicine with this platform. How has it helped them?
Yeah, so there are not many people using it because we have just started promoting the use of this in like the fall of last year. So we've only got about 6 months under our belt of this, but the results have been great. I didn't ask permission to share the name of this practice. It's probably better that I don't without their permission, but they're in Florida. And it is that situation I described, kind of where you've got a dentist who has a general practice and a sleep practice, and their desire is to move from general to sleep full time. Very, very busy general practice, trying to build up the sleep practice, has an office manager that helps with both, very outgoing, bubbly personality. So I went to this doctor and said, I think your office manager would be, because the office manager is passionate about this, because the office manager's father had severe complications from sleep apnea. So when this doctor got into dental sleep medicine, this office manager was ecstatic because she saw the impact that sleep apnea had on her dad. So she's very enthusiastic about it. And so I went to them when we first started doing this, and I said, would you be willing to try this? Because I think your office manager would knock it out of the park with this. Now, they are at a point, I want to be like super, super transparent. She is only seeing sleep patients 1 day a week. Okay. So they are not at a point where, their funnel is so full. They don't want it that full because she's only doing 1 day a week. But that 1 day a week, she wants every freaking patient who comes in to have been as qualified as possible, because she's only got 1 day a week, right? And she doesn't want that to be where she's got 2 cancellations or 3 people who come in and they're just not ready. So she has tasked this office manager with using this tool to ensure that everybody who makes an appointment, that they have had because it's another way to test interactions, right? If somebody sends you this and they say they're interested and you reply and you never see them again, they're not really terribly interested, right? They were out just poking around and whatever. So it helps qualify, it helps bring them down the funnel, it helps make sure they'll show up. So they have found it to be fantastic in terms of, you know, filling a schedule 1 day a week. So I want to be super transparent about the fact that it's not. We do have another client of ours who is full-time sleep, seeing sleep patients 4 days a week and selling probably 60 to 70 devices a month. And they also, they're doing it differently. For them, it is really their cash pay. And for them, it is about making sure that the people who come in are aware when they come in the door, and they use this tool to have a friendly interaction, so that it's not a phone call that says, sorry, you know, we can't help you. They give them information about dental sleep medicine quickly, efficiently, but get to the point that, yeah, we are cash pay. So people are using it in different ways. And I think that it will become more prevalent over time for all the reasons that I've mentioned today.
Yeah, I think it's a wonderful way to share value. You know, one of the workflows that's working really, really well for the offices that work with us right now is simply scheduling a 5 to 7 minute phone consultation prior to having them come into the office. And I think this could be a way for dental sleep medicine providers to add, you know, another level of value. Definitely people who are responding to an ad are not expecting a doctor to reply to them on video and calling them by name, so they know it's not just an automated message. So I do think there is an incredible opportunity with the tool you guys have developed for a provider to really set themselves apart. Because inevitably, when you, like you said, you go on Google, you look for CPAP alternatives, and you notice a dental solution. I was like, okay, I'm gonna look for a dental sleep medicine provider in my area. Well, what's going to differentiate you from the dental sleep medicine provider down the street? And it's probably going to be a personal interaction.
Yep, I agree 100%. You're exactly right. And I don't know, you know, the dentist on the call probably have this as well, but I'm sure you as a business owner can identify. I mean, my inbox, you know, no matter how hard I try every morning, it is.
I don't want to look at it.
yeah. But a good chunk of it are people trying to sell me something, and a good chunk of those now include video. And it is becoming a lot more prevalent, and it's effective. I had a guy the other day that sent me something. It was a very short email and had a video on it, and I couldn't help myself. I clicked it, and it was a personal video. Hey, Ernie, blah, blah, blah. And I normally would have hit delete, but I forwarded that over to the person in my company who's in charge of that particular area. And I said, you know what, this guy was really effective at getting my attention. You might want to take a look. Highly effective. We also, there's a thing called Loom, and there are also other you heard of Loom. You know, what we've been doing, which has been really interesting as well, is that we use Loom. Let's say that somebody goes to our support desk and says, hey, so-and-so is no longer here. Could you please remove them from our website? And by the way, so-and-so had a kid last year, and we've been meaning to tell you forever. Would you please, under their profile, add that they've got now, you know, 4 kids instead of 3, and the kid's name's Julia, and you know, whatever else they might want to add. By the way, here's a new picture of our lobby. Could you please throw that up, or something like that? That was maybe not the best examples, but you get the idea. Well, what we would typically been doing is just doing those things and sending an email back with a link saying it's done. We now use Loom, and our support desk will say, hey, Dr. Warren, I got all 3 of those things done for you. Your lobby looks great, got the photo loaded. We made sure that, you know, so-and-so was removed from the site, and we got somebody's 4th kid up there. If there's anything else you need from us, please let us know. And you'd be surprised the number of people who reply back, and they're like, oh, well, that was cool. Thank you for the video. So people are just getting in this, you know, do you know the second biggest search engine in the world after Google?
It's YouTube.
It's YouTube.
Yep.
It's YouTube, right? And so there's just people are and you and I are on a Zoom right now, right? Like people are just a lot more comfortable. And so, like you said, I think it makes a personal connection that distinguishes the doctor above others in their area.
Yeah. Okay. Well, Ernie, I really appreciate that. I think, again, your guys' platform is a great opportunity, again, for like people like our clients to take a look at their workflow and see if this is something that could fit, that would allow them to not only, number one, protect their chair time, which is vital,
Yeah.
but also deliver another level of value that sets them apart from their competition. And I can tell you guys with 100% confidence that in the next 3 to 5 years, possibly even sooner, there is going to be a lot of competition in dental sleep medicine. With the way things are going with AADSM and them pushing out, and how they're petitioning the American Medical Association to make oral appliance therapy a first line of defense, I think it's only a matter of time before literally 50% of dentists will be dental sleep medicine providers. So if you can do something now to set yourself apart, I think Ernie's platform could be a really great way for you guys to do that. So Ernie, what would be the best way for people to get in touch with you if they want to learn more about what you guys are doing with that virtual consult platform?
You know what? I will just put my email in the chat.
Perfect.
And I'll also put my phone number. There you go. Did I do that right?
Yep. It's showing up in the chat.
Yep. That's how you reach me.
Awesome. Well, Ernie, I'm not seeing any questions. Do you have any closing remarks you'd like to leave us with? Any imparting wisdom?
Man, I wish I had something witty to say. I should have. Man, I'm failing.
I bet you Dr. Mel Pearson would have something super witty to say right now.
Yeah, I will tell you something funny. I was at Seattle Study Club right before NADSM, and I was meeting this doctor, and I had been told that the doctor was a comedian, that he does improv. And so he came up to the booth and we're chatting, and this other lady comes up to talk to us, and she's kind of lingering, and I said, "Here, give me just a second." And I asked her, and she said, "Can you tell me a little bit about your company?" And so I turned and I said, "Dr. Goel, he's been a client of ours for about a decade. Can you please tell her about my company?" Well, he wasn't a customer. I'd met him for the first time, and I just wanted to test his improv skills. He was amazing. He killed it. He's like, "Yep, been working." So it was really, really clever. Sounds like Dr. Pearson has a question.
Yeah, Dr. Pearson raised his hand. So you can, where'd you go, Mel? There you go. Oops, I got it. I got Jenny. All right. I'm going to say, I don't know what happened to you, Mel. You raised your hand, allow to talk. You got to unmute. Yeah, you got to unmute yourself. There
okay.
we go.
You there?
Yeah,
yes, we hear you.
I am ready for some wisdom.
Yeah, you know what? No, I have nothing witty to say right now, but you know what? Your chat is disabled. I couldn't put anything in chat.
Really?
Huh.
It says disabled. I didn't know how to make it.
Oh, you know what? It does say, well, host and panelist. Yeah. I'll let you figure that out.
So I was going to ask a question before. I may have missed it, but tell me, Ernie, what is the basic difference between what you offer and what Doxy.me would be? What's the key differences?
I don't know. I honestly can't tell you because I don't know enough about that platform. Most of the ones that I'm familiar with on the market are real time. So if theirs is, asynchronous, and I wish I could come up with a less, kind of pretentious word for that. But the beauty of this is not necessarily that it's just video, but it's just video on their time and on your time. The best time for them, the best time for you.
Okay. Got it. Thanks.
Yeah, I would say, because I have a lot of experience prior to dental sleep medicine in the dental implant marketing world, where a lot of doctors use Doxy.me for those virtual consultations, and they are live. Whereas Ernie, your platform again allows the patient to submit that information on their time and allows you to reply on your time.
Got it. I understand. Great.
Yep. All right. Thanks for the wisdom, Mel.
Yep.
We'll see you, buddy.
Yeah, you too.
Okay. Okay. Well, Ernie, again, I've already said it, but I really appreciate you coming on, sharing what you guys have to offer. I think it's the opportunity for you guys to benefit what we are doing for our clients is there. The opportunity to add value to what patients are looking for in their research, I think, is there. So I really encourage everyone who's watching this live, or if you're seeing the recording of this, I encourage you reach out to Ernie. It's ERNIE at bullseyemediallc.com if you're not able to see the chat on this recording, or you can reach him by phone at 214-674-5155. Did I get that right, Ernie?
You did. You got it right. Yep.
Perfect. Perfect. So thank you, Ernie, for your time, and we'll probably see you at the next show.
Yeah, that's right. We will. All right.
right.
I really appreciate being invited. Thank you, everyone.
Yeah, thank you.